This week, I want to talk about being gentle. Here we have pictures of some children with some animals. Look how nicely they're holding. See this little girl? What is she doing? She's snuggling up to the cat. And this little girl has a bunny and a dog, right? See how gentle they're being with them? Now, some of you might have pets, and that's really good. It teaches you. They can be your friend and somebody to play with when you have nobody to play with, right? Or maybe you're really sad and a dog or a cat or something can just be warm and snuggly. They really help. But you know what I've noticed here on Roatan? That people are mean to animals, and children are too. Now, animals feel pain the same way you do, the same way I do, okay? They feel the same pain, and because they're smaller, what you do to them hurts really, really badly. And not only that, but if you're mean to an animal, they're not going to be nice to you. Now, here's a dog. Dogs are probably the best pet there is. Dogs will always love you, and dogs will protect you, even if it's a small dog. Dogs can tell who is good and who is not good. Did you know that? They can tell that. They can tell who is afraid of them and who is not afraid of them. Dogs can tell a lot, and they will take care of their children. Now, children can go out and play, but if a stranger comes and tries to hurt you, your dog will go and bite that person. When I was your age, the boy that lived behind us had a big German Shepherd. His name was Prince, and Prince was a guard dog. Prince was fun to play with, but what George would do, just to be mean to me, he would grab hold of me. He would grab hold of me, and then he'd say, "Help, Prince, help, help, help." And then the dog would come and bite me. I didn't do anything to George, and George thought that was so funny. No, Prince wouldn't bother me at all. Prince would let me play with him. No problem. Until George said, "Help, help, help." And that told Prince, attack. Well, George's family went on vacation, and before they left, George's daddy said to Prince, he said, "Listen, we're going to be gone for 10 days. Now, he told this to the dog, 10 days. Don't let anybody in the house. Nobody comes in the house while we're gone." Well, my daddy had to go in, and he had to feed in the barn, feed the animals and things like that. So what my dad would do was, at nighttime, he would let George out of the barn, so that to keep people from breaking into the house. And then during the daytime, he would put George inside the barn to sleep. Well, one day George didn't want to go into the barn to sleep. Did not want to. He was told to guard the house, and he decided he didn't want to go in the barn. His job was out there. And I told my dad, I said, I can take care of Prince. Prince, no problem. He knows me. I said, "Come on, Prince, let's go in the barn." And I took his collar to lead him in. He bit me, just like this, underneath here and here. Why? He's a guard dog. He's there to protect. And he knew I didn't belong there, bleeding everywhere. But that was his job. And when his owner found out about it, he felt really, really sad. And he came and he gave me a gift when he came back from vacation. But that was his job. Dogs are good like that. But you know what? Children are very mean. They'll pick up the dogs by their ears. Would you want somebody to pick you up by your ears? No. So you shouldn't do that. They'll pick them up by their fur. No, you don't do anything to it, or hit them with a stick, and they think that's really funny, or kick them. You don't do anything to an animal that you wouldn't want somebody to do to you. Yep. Now, sometimes the dogs here on Roatan, they see people and they get scared of them, right? Because people throw rocks at them and everything. And sometimes dogs can be really scary. And usually dogs don't bother me. I'm fine with them, and I look at them. You leave a dog alone. And dogs know Americans. And dogs will come up to Americans and go, because they know Americans feed dogs and play with dogs. And Honduran dogs will come up to Americans. They'll run away from Hondurans, but they'll come up to them. And if a dog is barking, Americans, they don't usually bother Americans if Americans leave. One day I was walking home, and I saw a dog laying along the side of the road, and I'd passed that dog many times. But for some reason, this dog was in a bad mood that day. And after I walked by, it came by and bit me really hard on the leg, right through my dress, and put a big bruise on my leg. I went back to talk to the owners. I said, you need to put this dog down. You need to kill that dog. It's going to hurt little children. Oh, yeah, that dog has bitten other people before. Bit somebody's finger off. Well, then you don't, right? Mm-hmm. But if you see a dog and a dog is mean, just bend down like you're going to pick up a rock and pretend to throw a rock at it. Because people do that to dogs all the time. And if you just bend down like you're going to pick up a rock, or even pretend to throw it, they'll run away from you, okay? And that's how you can save. But that one day, that dog, I don't know what, didn't bother it. I happened to walk by and it came up and boom, bit me. What a mean old dog, okay? So, dogs can be dangerous. Be very, very careful. But if you're nice to dogs, you treat them well, you can make them your friends. They're at Zavala's, one of the little boys in first grade. His grampy has 2 really mean dogs. But you know what? I made friends with them. And I can stick my hand in there and I can pet them and play with them. And they won't bite me at all. They'll lick me. And they're my friends. But if somebody else comes by and puts their hand in there, ooh, ooh, ooh. And they especially don't like black people. His dogs don't. Because the black children and the black men are mean to him. And so they don't like them. So they'll bark and everything. But not me. Right, because I'm nice to them. Okay, so all animals, what do? We treat them gently, right? You make sure they have plenty of food, plenty of water to drink when it's hot, right? And be careful how you hold them. Sometimes children hold them too tightly. We used to have a cat named Chicle. And Chicle was a fun cat, but one of the ladies from church used to hold him really, really tight, and he did not like that at all. And so whenever he saw her around, we used to have church in our house, whenever he saw her around, he would run away. And after a while, whenever he saw Honduran, Chicle the cat would run around. Now, if it was an American, Chicle might come up and jump on an American, especially if the American's eating. Jump right on top of him. But a Honduran, run away. How does a cat know the difference between a Honduran and an American? I don't know. How does a dog know that? I don't know, but they do. But they do. And they know Hondurans are mean to animals and Americans are nice to animals. So, what do you need to do? Be nice to animals, right? Treat them gently. And especially if you have a pet. Don't tease it. Don't be mean to it. Don't hurt it. One day I saw a little boy. He was maybe 3 years old, and he was hitting his sister with a stick. His mama took the stick away, and she said, Papito, you don't hit your sister with a stick. And then she gave him the stick back, and she said, here, go beat that duck. Go beat the duck. You don't beat your sister with a stick, and you don't beat a duck with a stick either. But that's what that mama told that little boy to do. Go beat the duck. No, a duck is just little, and don't tell a little boy to hurt a duck. But that's how Hondurans are. People in Roatan, they're just mean to animals. I don't know why. I've seen lots of kids, and kids that are big enough to know better even. Just pick up a dog by its ears. That's a good way to get bitten, right? You be nice to animals, and they'll be nice to you, and you'll be safe. But you watch out for dogs that you don't know, and don't play with a dog that you do not know, because it may bite you, okay? Because you are a Honduran. And it just might bite you, because Hondurans are mean to dogs, so if it sees you, it just might bite you. okay? But if a dog is after you, don't run. Never, ever, 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 ever run away from a dog, because they think you are playing a game. And then they will chase you, and they will jump on you and bite you, okay? Don't run from dogs. If a dog is running after you, just stop. Stand still. Stop and stand still, and then act like you're going to throw a rock at it, okay? But don't run away from dogs, because they will chase you and bite you, okay? Stop, get down like you're going to pick up a rock and throw a rock. Well, you don't even have to throw one. It doesn't even have to be a rock, just pretend to, and it'll make the dog go away, okay? But don't run away from dogs. Same with bees. If there are bees around, don't run away from bees either. They'll chase you, okay? Just bees, freeze. They'll buzz around you. They might go all over you, but they won't bite you, okay? Animals, be very, very gentle with animals, and they won't hurt you, okay? But plus, that's just mean, right? The Bible, did you know the Bible tells us we should be nice to our animals? It does. Bible tells us to treat them the same way we want to be treated.